All right, welcome to Literal Equations Part 2. Let's throw in one more twist here, guys. You got this. So we have 2x plus 1/4 y equals 1. We're solving for y. So I start with the y, and then I go look for multiplication first. And then do I add or subtract anything second? So I multiplied times 1/4. And then this is positive 2x, so I added 2x. Sweet, then we just undo. Remember inverse operation, so we go subtract 2x to undo that, and then we divide by 1/4. And funky things start happening when we say divide by a fraction. We do crazy things. So I want us to pause right here before we solve. I want you to look at this page here. Write this down. Pause it as long as you need. Dividing by fractions is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Dividing by fractions is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, if you don't know reciprocal, it's right here on the right. Flip your numerator and denominator. So 1/4 is the same. 1/4 divided by 1/4 is the same as 1/4. So keep the first one and then flip the second times 4/1. 2/3 divided by 2/3 is the same as keep the first 2/3, flip the second times 3/2. 4/5 divided by 4/5 is the same as 4/5 times the reciprocal, 5/4. 1/4 divided by 2/3 is the same as 1/4 times, flip, give me the reciprocal, okay? 2/5 divided by 1/8 is the same as 2/5, keep the first, flip the second, so we have times 8/1, the reciprocal. Okay, so that's what I want you to know, because sometimes putting it into multiplication is less confusing than writing it as a divide by the fraction, because then we get all these fraction bars and funky things start happening with our brains. Okay, all right, so I just gave us another option. So divide by 1/4, or we can multiply by the reciprocal of that is 4, or 4/1. Okay, so let's go and see how this works. So we start with the subtraction, so we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. That zeroes out, so we have 1/4 y equals 1 minus 2x. Remember, we don't do anything. Those are not like terms. We just read it how it is and go for it. Okay, now we're going to do the multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply by 4, and we do it to both sides. Keep the balance. All right, here's your little side note here. Why we want to do this. So if I do 4 times 1/4, well, this is the same as 4/1. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. That equals 1, which is what we want. We want a positive 1 y coefficient, right? So there we go. And then we're going to distribute the 4. Hey, remember those skills we've been practicing? It keeps coming back. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times -2 is -8x. There is our final answer. Okay, let's look at one more of these, and then you get to try it out on your own. Here we go. X plus 3/4 y equals 6. Solve for y. So we start with y. We go look, what did I multiply? And then did I add or subtract anything? So I multiplied by 3/4. And then I added, because it's positive, I added an x. Let's reverse. So undo. Undo adding x by subtracting x. Undo multiplying by dividing. But we just said, hey, if it's a fraction, I can multiply by the reciprocal. Make sure that you actually flip it. Okay, it's not the same as just multiplying by 3/4, so you have to multiply by the reciprocal. All right, so let's do it. We subtract x first from both sides. Keep the balance all the time. Notice how organized my work is. I'm not trying to smash things together. keeping it nice and organized. I keep telling myself 6 minus x. I'm reading the math. Math tells you what it wants to do. All right, now we're going to multiply both sides times 4/3. The whole thing on the left and on the right. It's not just part of it, okay? So 4/3 times 3/4 is going to give me a positive 1y. And then we multiply the 4/3 times 6. 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 3 is 8. And then negative 1 times 4/3 is negative 4/3 times x. There it is. That's what you do. You can watch this as much as you need. Let it soak in. Absorb it. You can do this. What did I build? Then undo it. What did I build? Then undo it. You can do it. You got this.